So this is my first race here today. Actual vision, the tour. So I need to checking to see if my mic is working. The last time I thought that it was working and it wasn't, so it's showing up at the bottom right of the screen, so I'm guessing that it is working, but so right, so getting some odd feedback. Having some feedback. Yes. Right, so finally found the screen. Right, so the mic is open. Alright, so let's get going on this. First race, first quali session. I'm in the Lamborghini today. So only Lamborghini in the entire field. So qualified P26. Sort of rush through a setup. Didn't get off enough laps at it. A rush through a setup, and I'm not gonna stream the entire replay. I did well initially in the first few laps. There's a lot more cars ahead than what you're seeing because of the settings I use in stock lobbies. In order to maximize the frame rate and the performance, I limit the amount of cars that you could see. But there are cars ahead, so I think I have it set at either 14 or 16. And mine total there are 31 cars here, so there are two other guys here who raced in another league, same tier with me. The guy who is in P12 at the moment, Miller, he is a gold classification. I'm in the overall class, and I had signed up for the silver class, but Biswick, he was also in the same tier with me last season in another league. So I signed up for the silver class, and I think it was either today or yesterday. I think I got after initially being accepted into the silver class, I got an email saying that I'm in the overall class. So in the overall category, I would be 1, 2, 3, one of only 3 persons. So there are pro drivers here, you have gold drivers, you have silver drivers. So overall, I'm guessing would have to be amateurs. I didn't have a real decent quality or the full second off pace that I'm capable of doing. Again, this is a setup that I am rushed through because I wasn't able to put in sort of time that I needed in order to properly attend to a setup. I have a lot going on these days, so the McLaren and P25 started ahead of me, but I think I had left them behind. I've gotten up to P13 and I came back later on. I think he probably made an error somewhere late in the second stint, because we have a pit stop for refueling. With the BMW, if I was using the BMW, I wouldn't change tires, although it was recommended, but I wouldn't change tires or just do fuel. Because of the setup that I use for Imola and other tracks with the BMW, the M4, I'm able to seriously look after the tires. So that was the first. I don't know if he touched me in the back here. I don't know where I touched, who I touched, but my screen was showing 1 second damage. I didn't see a hit here, and I think that is likely the closest anybody came to me. I know I didn't hit anybody deliberately or otherwise, and so carrying some caution here. And turn one, you can see by taking the outer line, I was able to make up a number of spots. So by the way, for those who may not be familiar with me, I'm known as WRC Mad Max. This is my first year on PC. I started with PC or ACC on PC in February this year, I think. I got the PC November last year. So I'm home on vacation 2020 to 2023, so I'm trying to enjoy one of my real life pastimes, which is racing. I do rallying, so I've done karting before, I've done drag racing. Victim number 2 and 3 is upcoming. We'll be going with one at a time. Soon enough the Aston will be passed. I think it was at the chicane here that I could have touched or gotten touch. No, I didn't. So where did I get that damage from? Here, I got touched in the back here. I thought so, but I didn't feel that though. Honestly, I didn't feel that. 1 point something seconds damage. On lap 28, I hit a ghost car somewhere just in the vicinity of the pit entry. There was no car on my screen. However, after the so-called contact, because there was no damage after, but there was definitely contact, it affected the vehicle speed and everything. There was as though it came into contact with something. There was like a solid collision. There was no damage and I didn't see anything. However, I got a warning from the spotter vehicle on the right. A very late warning. There was no car that I could see. I don't know what screen the spotter has, but probably have to check him out and see what that was all about. So this is this race at Imola is actually race number 5 on the calendar. I took the chicane very well there. I don't know what happened in the second stint after the pit stop, but chicane proved to be a serious challenge. So I'm glad I got the issue with the mic and so on sorted out. I think I know what the issue is now. So there's another victim. So as it stands right now, I'm having the audio coming through the system, which is the PC itself. My victim number 3. 3 solid passes so far. 3 in 3 laps. Yeah, I can see the setup is working quite well. Just can't understand what happened in the second stint. I know there was more fuel on board because I had to pit early after the spin. I'm not really more fuel, but more than I actually started off with. Because I think I started off around what, 60? Maybe 60 liters, maybe. Four laps. So started off around 60 here, and a pit I think I filled up 56. I could have put in 52. So what happened is that I had calculated, I put extra fuel. I had calculated on 3.09 liters per lap, and as you can see it's 315 right now, so that is something you need to be mindful of. So despite the car not working for me in the qualifying, well, I actually made some changes in the when qualifying had ended anyway, so I made some changes to the anti-roll bar. I think on the rear, I think I reduced what I was using on the rear anti-roll bar by 2 clicks. So the car strangely just was not sitting well with the settings that I was using. Thankfully though, pressures, the race today, the temperature, track temp was 30 degrees, and no, track temp, the race started, the track temp was 39 and the ambient was 30. So if anything, I think I had the initial starting pressures a bit too low. Not that it affected anything, as you can see the car is fairly decent. There were either some incidents up ahead or something was happening up ahead, and again a few more places before I had this unfortunate spin. I think the spin happened with about 20 minutes gone in the race, I believe. This car actually felt so stable. If anything, it probably had too much grip, but it was very stable. Second stint, all hell broke loose. I didn't have any real issues compared to what happened with the spin in the first stint, but car is solid right now. And I've looked at other onboards and other drivers who use the Lamborghini, and they are able to like seriously rev the car through the gear shifts. I find that I lose speed when trying to bounce off the limiter. So even though you see me avoiding those sort of bigots, those yellow bigots, the car is actually comfortable going over those. I just choose not to because I didn't want any unfortunate moments. I didn't do any didn't do any. In fact, the race setup is one that I saved just at the start of the formation lap there. So zero expectation or experience using this setup with race fuel. But as you can see there, there's no effects from literally running the car crazy over curbs and baguettes and all this sort of. So any odd things you see happening is purely me as a driver. It's all on me. I also find that for the Lamborghini, the ABS on 2 works better, although you see me here on 3, but the ABS on 2 works better. But again, as I said, this is like virtually a new setup, even though it's just one change I made, and that was only to the anti-roll bar. But see how much control I have with the vehicle. That is due to the amount of grip. So even while losing control, I'm still able to regain without losing anything much. And there were a number of laps where I lost it. I didn't get any track cuts warning. Somebody got disqualified. I'm not sure what happened with them. So first race today, I'm glad I was able to get into. I've been trying to get into this league since the days of PS4, but there was a lot of demand for places at the time, and I was not able to be one of the lucky ones to get in. So here I am now, up into P14, soon to be P13, and this is only on lap 9. Bestwick has gained some places as well, and Miller is now up into P9. So car is very solid over the chicane and so on. Just I made a stupid error that caused the spin. And that happens when you ignore consistency, and I think I'd open up a gap on this guy behind me. See, he's 3 seconds currently, and I was focusing on the guy ahead. So I started a gain on him. You can see the car is not really losing it, going over the curves and so on. There's another a setup that is kind of close to what I'm using. You can check Sky 194, his channel on YouTube. he did a setup for LFM race. Once you that was my error. Once you like the Lamborghini, you could try Sky setup. The setup is good. It's for the faster driver because it has that much more pace in it. Like for instance, my bumps up range here is what is on 50, and his is 15. So my setup is more for stability, and his, which is more safe. So it's closer to safe, and his setup is more for the consistent 42 seconds race laps. So I did 42, but I was on qualifying field with his setup. And this setup is one that I should have taken the time to deal with it since last week when LFM the 25-minute races were here, but some of the drivers were so scary. So you see why it was my error. I'm glad I didn't stall the car. Managed to be passed by 3 guys that I passed on the road. And I was up to P13 when that happened. So by this point I pitted. I made some quick adjustments before stopping there, so I lost maybe a couple seconds, but it was not a scheduled pit stop, so that's the thing about it. Being a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, that spin was enough to, of course, the temperatures or the PSI of the tires like skyrocket. So running tires with 28, above 28 was not going to end well, so I decided to pit immediately and saw that out. So you can see immediately that I have 20 more liters than I started out with. Again, as I said, somehow the car was handling way differently in the second stint here, and the extra fuel, I don't know why this guy got disqualified. The seat popped up here. I see me making an error there when I saw the disqualification behind. But despite being on cold tires and so on, I was able to sort of keep pace with the cars that were lapping me, because they had not completed their pit stops as yet. I kind of felt that maybe I had this car set up a bit too low, but then raising the ride height would mean that I would have to go back in and make adjustments to the springs or the suspensions on the whole, which is the wheel rates, the bumps, and as well as the dampers. But based on the setup I'm running here, if I were to even touch the ride height by one click, and right now, as I told you, I was feeling a difference in handling with only 20 liters more fuel, or just under 20 liters more fuel, and I was feeling the difference. So any interference with the ride height means that you needed to compensate with the other areas, and that is actually what was happening here. I think at some point I adjusted the brake bias. All of a sudden you will notice that my like that last turn, where previously I was being consistent with braking and turning, I was like all over the place. Thankfully I didn't wreck again in the chicane, but I had to take a lot of the curves differently. Sort of as though is like you're taking the curves with a sort of late apex behavior, like that, sort of late and just on the bare edge, whereas before I was able to like go right over. But as I said, I did no practice with race fuel, so you can also use the aero screen to check how the front and rear of the car would, how the ride height would be affected with fuel load and thing. But I didn't do all of that because, as I said, last minute setup and everything, basically didn't have too much practice with the setup and zero practice with race fuel. With the M4, there are times when I just load up the full race setup and let's do qualification with race fuel on board as well. I've done that on a number of occasions. But before using the BMW in my previous league, the Lamborghini is the car that I use a lot more. For me, somehow I'm very comfortable with the Lamborghini. So I had to let the lapping car, he's yet to pit, but I didn't want to interfere with his battle. You see how the car went over that? So I let these three guys too, they are a lap ahead of me. guys have time and you want to see some PS5 racing, I missed my breakpoint there, but then there was a bit of a lagging going on the server tonight. So occasionally you would see the server information go into the red numbers and high CPU usage coming up on my screen. So it started to get a bit worse coming to the end of the race. I had to reach up and switch off the Wi-Fi from the modem, because my network bar going up deep into the red zone, like all the way up. So turning off the Wi-Fi feed, I was able to get that back. So let's go now to let me see if I can get a bit further into the race here. I think the guys are up ahead. They pitted a few laps are back. So let's see, 22 laps. Of course, I'm losing a lot of time there. I don't know what I hit. It's rather weird. I think I'm gonna use this setup as a base for other tracks. I need to check and see what so let me tell you the other, and feel free to join, there are slots available, you can sign up. So this is what I needed to check. Let's see what happened to this guy up ahead here. Oh, so he was having some issues here. Having lots of issues here. So let me jump into this is why I came by. lap was just 26, so 2 laps ago. I want to see what happened on lap 28 towards the end. So this is lap 27. See how the car is going over those. Oh, so that's what happened. This guy got a drive-through. It's strange though, the Mercedes they seem to be having a horrible time. I actually tested a setup that I have. It was a setup that was built by High Grade, who's on PS5, so you can check out his channel as well, High Grade B 876. Got a setup from since PS4 days. So Miller is in P5 at the moment. He just lost 2 places again. These are the same 2 guys. And just what you're seeing here on screen is what was actually happening in the race, because a lot of guys complained about these lags. So that was happening a lot. A lot of guys complained about it. I think there was a point that I turned off the so it should be at the end of this lap, just passing the pit entry. I'm not sure what happened there, but how many Astons are there in the race? Let me see. So this guy managed to get back ahead of me. That was purely my fault there because of the spin, of course. Because of the spin, he got back ahead of me. Well, that was another error. All on driver error. So let's see what's gonna. I'll do a slight bit of review here because I was concerned. What did I hit? So let's see if it's this lap. So let's check that back because I'm sure I heard something there. I heard something there, and there's that extra movement. So if it's not this lap, it's the other lap, but let's go still, because I'm supposed to be like one lap behind the guys ahead. So if the guys ahead on lap 28, I am now on lap 28. They would be on 29. So let's go. I think there was another lapping car just behind. Yeah, this was the Honda. That was P1. So I was gonna let him through right here. Yeah, that's where it happened. So it was just there. Let's come from the chase view and see. So that wasn't a shadow, it was literally a ghost car. Because I got the spotter notification car on the right. A very last minute that happened. I got that notification after the contact. So it happened just about here. Yeah. So it actually was P1. So I'm lagging with P1 and felt like a very solid hit. Missed my turning point there, so I'm trying to see if there are any close battles. So these two have been sort of close in the entire race. One thing that I haven't done so far since I'm on PC, I have not done any custom livery. There's a certain way that has to be done. When I say custom, I mean like, you know, putting your like personalized stuff. But there's a certain way that has to be done, otherwise it would it can cause some issues with the game for your experience. So that's why as I'm using one of the low-end GPUs, I decided not to do too much. I don't know if that would or would not have any impact on the game, but I decided not to go into all of those stuff. thing custom that I do with the livery is more or less to run team or country colors. So the team color basically that I'm running for this league with Lamborghini is Dirty Air Racing Team, or DART, D-A-R-T. And the colors are ice, gold and green. So based on the leaderboard right now, this is more or less the closest battles going on here. There's another one happening here, I think. See, I one here. And there's another here. Now these are two cars that I had gotten ahead of before the spin. I'd gotten up to P13 and I would have been there still had it not been for who knows, I probably would have been even ahead of P12 because P12 just had the drive through. So as I said before, anyone there's places left and you can join, so feel free to. Actualvision.com and sign up. I'll send out invitations. I don't know if 13:30 EST or 6:30 UK time would be ideal for everyone, but if you have that time available on Wednesdays, there are other leagues going on as well on Actual Vision. They have leagues on Race Room, Automobilista. So join the and check it out. I didn't see any console. I know there's Assetto Corsa because initially I tried to get into the 1990s British Touring Car Championship. Well, that league was actually using the best generation of touring cars for me. That's with the Nissan Primera and so on. These guys are pretty safe drivers. These are gold and silver drivers here. The Mercedes and P12 is these are pro cars. So guys, if you have the time, I know Steve or Sky 194, if you have the time, if 4 more races to go on the calendar. I was supposed to give you the rest of the calendar. The race is almost over. So let me give you the really. These guys race very close throughout, and just to think I had gotten ahead of them as well as the BMW that's in P14. I think I had been ahead of those. Alright, so the other races every Wednesday. So the next race is on the 31st next week, and then I'll have to try to squeeze in some time because I have some things that's happening, so I need to sort that out. So every Wednesday, the next 4 Wednesdays. Whoa, lost it all on his own. Oh, was that the end of the race? I think it could have been the end of the race then. No, that was not. Yeah, I think it is the end of the race. Yeah, that was the end of the race then. Initially I was going to teleport the pits, but then I decided, you know what, let's drive it back. So let's see. Standings have been updated. I got 12 points in this race, finished P19. So yeah, I started with 1,000 license points and still have that intact. I'm not sure how the license points go, if it decreases with incidents or it should decrease with incidents. And it should increase with clean races. I'm not sure how that goes. But I have 12 points, first race of the season, so the guys ahead of me, I'm in P30 at the moment, so I hope I could participate in the next 4 races and probably finish inside the top 20. It's gonna be a huge ask, but it's not impossible. I'm the only Lamborghini driver. So Steven Biswick he has 45 points. So I need to, I think I'll finish ahead of most of the guys who currently behind me. There's one that I didn't see, but most of the other guys I finished ahead of them, so a pity that P13 was lost with his spin. So Maurice Miller is in P20, Bestwick is P26, Miller is P20 with 61 points. Who else do I know? The guy on top was the guy with the Honda, that's Yelenko. He's on top with 268 points, so me with only 12 points. Ricky Court probably new as well, 9 points. Flashback has 26. So who is him? Let me see. I'm not sure who he is here, but so I do have some ground to make up on. The next round is at Spa. I'll have to get that round in and get some practice, and so I think I already have a setup there, so shouldn't be. Already have a setup for here. So we have Spa, we have Watkins Glen. I need to work on Watkins Glen from fall now. Supposed to have a Monza setup, and I have a setup for Mount Panorama circuit. So I need to have some work to do on the Mount Panorama circuit setup. I have some work to do on that, but I'm aiming to at least, I hope I should be there for Spa. If not, that'll be bad, but I'll try to manipulate things in such a way that I won't miss the race. I have an idea of what I would do, so I need to get those 2 hours available, so let's get it done. I'm actually gonna have some relatives that visiting from the US coming in this Saturday, so from Sunday I'm the one who's gonna be doing the driving duties in real life. So I have that set out. I'm gonna try to set up the itinerary in such a way so that Wednesday I would have the time on Wednesday to deal with the Spa round, and then Watkins Glen, Monza and Bathurst should be free. So it's a pity I didn't. I actually got interested in the league after seeing Beswick. He does some great streams. So I joined late. I joined at round 6. 5 rounds already completed. The last round was at Kyalami. They did Indianapolis. They did so let me see. Spa is gonna be in race 2 p.m. in race in game. Watkins Glen is gonna be in the night, so I don't have a lot of track time on Watkins Glen. I certainly need to get that done and see what 7 p.m. or 1900 hours look like in game. Monza is going to be 4 p.m. or 1600 hours, and Mount Panorama, the finale, is going to be wow. That's going to be wow, man. Whoa, that's 2000. That's going to be 8 p.m. I think it should still 8 p.m. in Australia. It's still going to be a bit, yeah, it's going to be not very dark, but I think it should be. We're not sure how the weather settings is going to pop up on that day. Not sure about that. So these races are 60 minutes. You have 30 minutes practice, 30 minutes quali, so that's an hour, and then you have a 60-minute race with pit window of 20 minutes that runs from 45 minutes to, from the time the clock reaches the countdown at 45 minutes and it closes at 15 minutes ago. So the ambient temperature is random, track temp random, weather random. So the only requirement that you have for the pit stop, as I say, it's not mandatory that you change tires. However, the only limitation is that you must add 1 liter of fuel. So in the previous version of the game, we could have probably run the entire 60 minutes comfortably on the same tire, but that could be a bit of a challenge. It's not impossible, it's still possible. As I said, I've done it, and the setup that I use for the M4 at this track, it's 100% possible. But just keep in mind that the time loss in the pits when you're changing tires or adding fuel is just 25 seconds. You're changing tires and adding fuel is even if you put in just 1 liter of fuel, it's still 25 seconds that you're gonna be in the pit for. So, and it's just 5 more seconds added to that if you're going to change tires. So really, if you compare the drop off that you're going to experience with used tires, it might be advisable to change tires, although as I said, you can have setups that would not degrade your tires to any large extent. This setup that I use was one of those setups. As you saw, apart from the spin, there was and little driving errors. This setup was a tire saver, and added even more to that by running ABS on 3. As I said, the setup built to run with the ABS on 2, so, and it's comfortable on 2. You're not going to lock up or have any sudden multiplication of grip, because the car already has its outfitted with grip. And it's not that I'm going to give away the setup, no. It's one of those setups that can work on most tracks, and you only need to adjust the wing. It's one of those. It's just one of those. But if you're on Cryptic's Discord, I could put the setup up there. So once you're on Cryptic's Discord, and could put it up there. So it'll be on Cryptic as well as Printers Discord. I'll pop the setup in there. It depends on how I feel, you know. So this setup is like, ignore the driver. The setup is gold, like gold. And I had figured out the Lamborghini quite some time back now. I know I've seen persons like increase the springs and the dampers and so on, and I think I've seen them, but I've gone in another direction with those and find it to be, as you could see, you saw what was happening on track, so it was far more ideal. So let's see why I'm here. But I'm still in the silver class with the 12 points here. So overall I'm rank 30, I'm rank 10 out of 11. I think myself and the guy in Tennessee, he lost some, so he had some incident there. He lost some, yeah, that's the guy that I got past, so I'm not sure if his incident was at another car, but I saw he lost some license points there. So he has 10 points, I have 12. So Stephen Beswick has 84. Tomlin is ahead of me, he's on 62. Kudaman 61, Logan is 58, Gurja 56. So those are the guys I'm going to have to be aiming to catch for over the next 4 rounds. Let's see if it's possible. Let's see. I'm comfortable in Lamborghini. I've only really recently gone back to it, like last week. So just need to rediscover the mojo and work on the settings. You definitely need some settings with Lamborghini. It's not going to be rewarding or possible for you to let's jump in with the aggressive preset and achieve much. The safe preset actually is better than you think it is. If persons who prefer to use the presets, have a go with the safe preset. On most cars I think it's far better than the aggressive preset. You just need to understand what you need to adjust and so on. So hello. No, I wasn't. No, I'm sorry about that. My password is closed already. You still have it or not? So, yeah. Alright, so yeah, thanks for viewing. Hope to put up another let's keep this for a day or two, and if there are no issues with me and incidents, I had none really in the race, so let's keep it around just in case I need to respond to any stewards inquiries or anything. So it's already on the stream, so let's keep it on the system here for a while and then delete it. So that was my race today. Looking forward to doing a lot better over the next 4 rounds. So I'm gonna start to work on those tracks and those setups now. So thanks for viewing. Have a wonderful evening or night wherever you are. I am in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago to be precise. So enjoy, bye, and be safe.